starting the webinar in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Family Weekend. My name is Rose Boulet, and I'm the Director of the Office of Parent Services, better known as OPS. It is my pleasure to be here today to celebrate Family Weekend with you and all that UMass has to offer. I had the great pleasure of interacting with many of you via Zoom when you participated in orientation this past summer and the last few years around this time at Family Weekend. So I'm delighted we can meet again, even if it is in these unusual circumstances. Virtual Family Weekend is by no means the same as you coming to campus, spending time and attending fun activities with your student and learning about your student's college life. The UMass community is sad as well, but we know that together we can continue to enjoy Family Weekend, even if it is from afar. We are delighted you are part of our UMass family and look forward to continue to partner with you to support your students' college education. To begin our program this morning, I'd like to share a short musical performance from the Department of Music and Dance, directed by Associate Professor Matthew Westgate. Wow, I hope you enjoyed this performance as much as I did. Thanks to our young college musicians and Associate Professor Matthew Westgate for putting this piece together for us in such a short notice. We appreciate your continued support. Our next piece is a video clip from the UMass Parent Advisory Council, which is basically a huge welcome to you and a push to attend as many activities as possible this weekend. Without any further ado, here is Christy Ryan, member of the Advisory Council.
Hi, I'm Christy Ryan, and I live in Marblehead, Massachusetts, about 90 miles from UMass. My son Robert is a junior at the Eisenberg School of Business. He's taking classes all remotely right now, but he loves UMass and the college experience so much that he's living just off campus this year. I know he's hoping to live back on campus as soon as he can, so he can be closer to the dining commons, the library, and the rec center, which he loves so much. I want to welcome you to the virtual family weekend for 2020 and let you know that there are events happening Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And one thing you can do together is a UMass trivia contest, which is happening Friday evening. You can create teams of up to 5 people, and all you need to do is register in advance on the Family Weekend website. There's going to be prizes, which include book scholarships and gift cards, things that are perfect for students. You'll find all the weekend's activities listed on the Family Weekend website, and I look forward to seeing you there online, and before too long, I hope to see you in person.
Just a reminder, the Advisory Council is here for you. Check out their page on the Office of Parent Services website to learn more about what they do and how you can get involved. Now, I'd like to take a few minutes to go over some important information about the weekend so you can enjoy as many activities as possible. The fact that you are in this webinar tells me that you already know where to find the schedule of events. So please bookmark www.umass.edu/family-weekend. There you will find the registration link. Once you complete the registration form, you will then have access to the schedule, program descriptions, and Zoom links. Be sure to read over the Family Weekend schedule to determine what you want to attend. We have lots of activities and information sessions to select from, and some wonderful prizes donated by Books by eCampus and UMass 5 College Federal Credit Union. Please note that some of the activities are only offered once, while others are offered concurrently. Some are also offered to students only, families only, or both. Like I said, plan your day carefully so you can take part in as many activities as you can, and activities that are of interest to you and your student. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our new Dean of Students, Dr. Evelyn Ashley, who has now been with us for just 25 days. Serving previously as Associate Dean of Students and Director of Student Support, Advocacy, and Accountability at Southern Methodist University, Dr. Ashley brings nearly 2 decades of progressively responsible experience in higher education to her new role as Dean of Students at UMass Amherst. She is a collaborative leader committed to innovative and creative approaches to providing the essential programs, services, and supports that will allow our students to thrive intellectually, emotionally, and socially. Throughout her career, Dr. Ashley has demonstrated a student-centered approach to her work, creating policies and procedures that ensure that the undergraduate student experience is at the forefront of any decision-making process. We are very happy she decided to join our UMass community and look forward to continue to accomplish great things under her leadership. Dr. Ashley, you now have the spotlight.
Good morning, and thank you for that introduction, Rose. I am so excited to be at UMass Amherst and for the opportunity to be part of Family Weekend. In my role, I'm charged with overseeing the offices responsible for introducing students and their families to campus and providing support for a smooth transition. I also oversee the offices that provide care and support to students who may have difficulties adjusting or who encounter other obstacles during their college journey, along with staff who assist students by teaching the importance of accountability. The staff members in the Office of Parent and Family Services, New Student Orientation, Student Conduct and Community Standards, and Student Life are all dedicated to ensuring students have a great experience at UMass and are prepared to be revolutionary. Their dedication to students is why I wanted to be part of this team and community. I am looking forward to a time when we can be together in person, but until then, I am grateful for the opportunity to connect with each of you virtually. Now, I have the privilege and pleasure to introduce Dr. Brandy Hepner-LeBanc, our Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Campus Life. Brandy joined the UMass community in January of this year. Prior to joining us, she served as the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs at the University of Mississippi, or Ole Miss, in Oxford, Mississippi. Brandy brings to UMass a wealth of knowledge and experience. She is an accomplished leader and scholar, having worked at both public and private institutions. She has served as a professor in addition to her administrative roles and written books and articles to enhance knowledge within the field of student affairs. This year, the professional organization, NASPA, Student Affairs Administrators in Higher Education, honored Brandy by naming her a pillar of the profession. At this time, I would like to turn things over to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Brandy Hepner-LeBanc.
Thank you, Dean Ashley, for that introduction. And thank you, parents, guardians, families, for joining us for a truly unique family weekend at UMass. In my role, I have the distinct honor of leading a team that is deeply committed to creating a supportive living and learning environment for your students. One grounded in our core values of compassion, care, and concern for others. While academics, the classroom experience, might be the first thing that comes to mind when you think about your student at college, the work of student affairs and campus life focuses on the growth and development of skills beyond the classroom, the integration of academic learning into everyday life for your student. Our work has at its focus the development of your student as a whole person, whether your student is living in residence, off campus in our local area, or engaging remotely from your family home. There are countless ways to learn and grow at UMass. In this year of unexpected challenges, there have been lots of opportunity for personal growth as we adapt to incorporate mask wearing, social distancing, and regular COVID screening and testing into our daily lives. We've picked up new habits, carrying masks and hand sanitizers with you everywhere, for example, and we've all learned new skills. This pandemic has forced all of us to expand our technology skills and to think critically about how we tend to our personal mental health and well-being. We've also come together and acknowledged the shared responsibility that comes from being part of a community. I was heartened early in our planning for the fall that more than 25,000 of our students signed on to the UMass Agreement, a pledge affirming a commitment to take steps to protect oneself and to protect others by following established federal, state, and local guidelines related to COVID-19. And I continue to feel pride every day as I see so many students quietly and conscientiously doing just what they should to hasten our return to a more normal way of being. I am hopeful that we've all learned this fall, and the incredible level of engagement in these practices among our students will provide us an opportunity to open our campus more this spring, because we all yearn to return to a more traditional residential college experience. The university is always appreciative of the relationships cultivated with parents and families, but now more than ever, we are grateful to be your partners in this effort to provide your student with a safe, rewarding college experience. Whether your student is at home with you and learning remotely or living here in beautiful Western Massachusetts, they will look to you for advice and guidance on navigating these new landscapes. These are challenging times for students. Learning is difficult. Engaging with others is trying, and keeping spirits high is a task. As they adapt and adjust to college life, we can work together to help them grow their efficacy. And with your support and guidance, urge your student to become a strong self-advocate who is capable of navigating for themselves and reaching out for the support they need. And as you do so, know that we, the staff and faculty of the university, are honored to be entrusted with the education and further development of your loved one. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our Chancellor. Kumble Subbaswamy, or Swamy as he's known, has been Chancellor of UMass Amherst since 2012. He has spent almost his entire professional life at public research universities, and under his leadership, our campus has experienced unprecedented momentum. He is a physicist by training and an elected fellow of the American Physical Society. I joined UMass in January of this year, and it has been a distinct honor, a pinnacle of my professional career to work with this man, an exceptional leader in higher education. I can tell you with absolute certainty that he is an ardent advocate for students. They are top of mind in all of his decisions as he leads the Commonwealth's flagship university. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Subbaswamy.
Thank you so much, Vice Chancellor Hefner-LeBanc. It's very kind of you, great, indeed kind words. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us. While I absolutely would much prefer to be speaking to you today in person, I appreciate this opportunity to connect with you. I have to tell you that just like everyone else, the pandemic has really created challenges for the university, for its staff, faculty, and everybody really on the whole globe is struggling through the effects of the pandemic, both the direct impact in terms of social interactions and in terms of the economic impact. So that's one thing we all have in common, and we've never experienced anything quite like this, and we're all learning as we go along. So for the university, really, we remain, through all of this though, we remain committed to providing as exceptional an educational experience that we can to our students. And on behalf of our faculty and staff, I want to thank each one of you for the opportunity to work with your student. To underscore Vice Chancellor Hefner-LeBanc's comments, the health and safety of our students, faculty, and staff always remains our highest priority. We currently have approximately 22,670 undergraduates enrolled this semester. This number is really more than what we expected in light of the pandemic. And in fact, it exceeds our pandemic-related projections by about 700 additional students. It's almost the normal number we normally would have. So we really, truly appreciate the fact that you've all decided and your students have decided to remain enrolled and make progress on your degrees. Of our total undergraduate enrollment, about 1,000 are living on campus. And for scale, normal years, we would have more than 13,000 students living on our campus. So we really, truly miss having students in the middle of the campus. Over the summer, knowing 93% of classes would be conducted remotely, faculty worked to prepare their courses with an emphasis on increasing student engagement and providing opportunities to interact with peers and instructors. We understand, for a variety of reasons, remote learning is challenging, and more so for some students. And we continue working to improve the academic experience for everyone. If your student is having difficulty, we have resources available to support their academic success. And I encourage them to reach out for help. And we constantly give information about how to reach out for help. But if they're not sure still how to access support, please, we ask you to contact the Office of Parent Services so we can give you some direction on what you can tell your student on how to receive help. Help seeking is really important at a time like this. Despite the differences in campus life this semester, our students are still actively engaged in history-making events, including, of course, the 2020 general election in the US. As November 3rd approaches and we acknowledge the national trend of increasingly polarized viewpoints, we reaffirm the university as a place for civil discourse, whether it's virtual or on campus. While our students passionately explore the issues of the day, the university must teach them to think for themselves, to analyze, to productively advocate for what they believe, rather than suppress what they don't want to hear. For while we must not tolerate hate speech, it is imperative we continue fostering an intellectual community where the free and respectful exchange of ideas is welcomed. By teaching our students to think critically in pursuit of the truth, we prepare them for success and for being responsible citizens and leaders. To support student involvement leading up to the election, we have created virtual opportunities to explore and discuss the democratic process. And in anticipation of a possible delay in declaring the election outcome, we're expanding online resources and support for students who may experience anxiety resulting from this uncertainty. In our university community and across the country, we have also seen an energy and urgency directed towards confronting and undoing our country's painful legacy of systemic racism. As a national awareness has taken hold, and we need more than rhetoric, we need action. We're implementing strategies to recognize and combat racism at the university itself. These efforts include not only educational opportunities such as expanded symposia offerings, continuing our learning communities and forums for dialogue, but action at every level of the university. And I've asked all members of our community to participate as we work to implement change by fostering awareness and building bridges across our differences. In closing, I want to share with you that we're currently in the planning process for the upcoming spring semester. Having transitioned to a mostly remote learning model for the fall, and having implemented extensive testing, quarantine, and COVID-19 mitigation protocols on campus, I have charged a strategy group to oversee 7 function-specific working groups to explore our spring options. Of course, throughout the process, the health and safety of our university community remains our highest priority. The strategy group will provide a set of recommendations to me by October 21st, and I would use their work as well as other available resources to inform my decision-making to share, and then we'll share that decision for our spring semester plan shortly thereafter. While I await the group's recommendations, based on what we have learned from the transition last spring, from the semester so far, and from other institutions, I anticipate, of course, that some portion of our teaching and learning will continue to be delivered remotely for the spring. At the same time, as the public health situation permits, we will continue building the infrastructure required to repopulate our campus. I'm confident of that. As we chart a course forward that advances both the health and safety of our community and the academic goals and the role of immersive in-person education of your student, I'm grateful for your understanding and patience. While the pandemic has created many challenges for the university and for you, we remain committed to your student success and the lifelong benefits that they will derive from their university degree. And I want to say, normally we would have an interactive end to this kind of a greeting here on campus. We would have had a question and answer. What I suggest is, if you have remaining questions, outstanding questions, please write. We really want to hear from you. Write to umass.edu, at chancellor@umass.edu, chancellor@umass.edu, and we will definitely give you responses. So please feel free to write to chancellor@umass.edu. Thank you again, and go UMass.
Thank you so much, Chancellor Swamy, for taking the time to address our families this morning. We look forward to hearing more from you as decisions are made for the spring semester. Families, there are many people who work very hard to put this weekend together for you. I want to take a minute to thank the student activities and campus life administrators for their support, the different colleges and departments across campus, our advisory council members, the University Programming Council, the New Students Orientation and Parent Services staff, Development Office, Student Alumni Association, the UMass Store, Books by eCampus, UMass 5, College Federal Credit Union, and of course, our student employees. Thank you for your undivided attention. And as I mentioned earlier, enjoy the rest of your weekend and go UMass.